Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Into the Light broadcast. Happy Friday. um, my name is Ashley. I am a life coach, and I am super excited to chat with you guys every week during these broadcasts about energy, about light working, about raising our frequencies, about New Earth, about all the things that are going on right now, and how we can show up as individuals and not only become the best version of ourselves, but in a way that will help others and lead others on that path as well. And so today, the message that I have been getting on, I've had so many topics that I've wanted to talk about, and all of them are important. But the one that was coming through the most today was the fact that everyone is in so much fear right now. And this is almost a reminder for those of us who are in those higher frequencies, but also for those who may be going through the lower ones right now, still processing all of the things. Um, as we know, there is so much darkness that is coming to the surface that is in need of being transmuted. Hey, stop. Sorry. Guys, calm down. Calm down. Come on. Let's go in the other room. Come on. There is so much darkness that is in need of being transmuted right now. And as the light comes onto the planet and it raises the frequency higher and higher and higher, those old third dimensional, agendas and timelines and all the things are coming to the surface because the intensity of the light is becoming so strong that it's making the dark react like so much faster. So what we are seeing right now is a almost a sped up version of all of the dark agendas because they know that they are inevitably dying, right? Falling off. Those timelines are no longer able to become a thing because the frequency on earth is just too high. There are so many people awakened and allowing more light into their bodies that it can't happen anymore. So as more frequency, more light and the frequency of the planet rises, it's causing a faster reaction. And as it causes a faster reaction, people who may still be going through the darkness within themselves are reacting, out of fear, out of anger, out of worry, out of all the things because they're still working through their own issues. So they're feeling it on such a deep level. So as we hear all of these terrifying headlines of things, come into the news and come into all the things, right? For the sole purpose of creating more fear and all of those things, certain people are freaking out. They're not yet in a point where they can understand that these things have to come to the surface, otherwise they will stay hidden. They might not understand yet that this is all an exposure process and there's actually nothing behind it. So there's nothing holding it on. And like we talked about before, it's like the car that's driving down the road. When you have a car at the top of the hill, you take out the engine and you put it in neutral, you take out the bolts and you just let it drive down the hill, it's going to fall apart piece by piece. Eventually, it's going to run into something. Eventually, it's all going to fall apart, right? That's what's happening right now. And each part of the car is coming off right now in this exposure period. And as each part of the car comes off, people freak out. But what happens is they also, not always, but each new thing that comes to the surface causes people to then question. So each person's awakening point is at a different level, mostly depending on what their own, life choices have been, or, what their maybe life purpose is or will be, all the things. Um, there's a trigger point for everyone, basically, and my awakening trigger point was whenever I had my son. So, everybody has a different awakening point. So, all of these things are triggering more and more and more awakenings within the earth. And what's happening as we do that, the frequency is rising, the vibration is rising on the planet. So, what does that mean for people that, maybe have been in that higher frequency? What does that mean for people like light workers, empaths, things of that nature? What does that mean for us? Um, and the people wanting to be of service to humanity. What that means is basically that we must become the keepers of frequency. We must become the way showers and the example. Here's the thing: we can't drag anyone to the fifth dimension. We can't drag anyone to the new earth. We can't convince anyone or manipulate anyone into believing the things that maybe we have a higher consciousness of. Okay, that's not our job, and that's not the way we do things, right? Um, all you can do is just be there and be of loving support and stability for those people who are going through those lower frequencies still. And as we do that, we not only raise our vibration ourselves, but we also stabilize the vibration of that next level. So um, we have to keep it high no matter what. So no matter what arises, no matter what new headline comes in, what new fear agenda or should we say is exposed, no matter what that looks like, we have to continue to hold our frequencies. Because as we do that, it allows other people to then absorb your frequency, number one, and you make it accessible. Where'd you go? Um, we make our frequency accessible to others. And what I mean by that is when our frequency is high and we are holding it no matter what arises, no matter what comes to the surface, um, other people that are around us sometimes will naturally absorb it, or they will naturally feel calmer, they will naturally feel more stable or more safe or more okay. And that is our job as light workers. That's our job, is to just hold the light, hold the frequency, and hold the vibration of the planet high, so that those other people that are not yet there, that are still going through their own dark night of the soul, can then meet us there, right? This is not about dragging anyone along. This is not about trying to convince anyone of anything. This is just leading by example. You're going to influence more people by leading by example than trying to preach to someone. So basically, that's what's happening right now on the planet, and that's what's been happening, but it keeps intensifying as as these things come to the surface. So many people are in fear right now, and it's hard also for people to understand that there's anything better on the other side of this, simply because we have been so conditioned as humans um, through certain agendas in society to think that you know that everything is an apocalypse, everything is doomsday, everything is the end. We're all in lack, we are all in everything's dying, all the things, right? There's not enough of this, there's not enough of that. That's constantly being thrown out there, when in reality we live in a world of abundance. It's just suppressed and kept from us. And because that is no longer going to be the case soon. Sorry, I have so many dogs just trying to steal all my things. Um, because that is no longer going to be the case, it's going to take people some time to adjust to that. It's going to take time for people to adjust to the fact that good things are possible. Not only possible, but it's the future. Which leads me into my topic of next week, which is about our children and what they are here to do and provide for Earth. So yeah, it's amazing to watch whenever you have that sort of inner knowing of what is coming, and inner knowing of peace and stability and security. That doesn't mean that there aren't going to be triggers for light workers that are going to, maybe kick them back a couple steps. That's only a sign of more work that we can do to better ourselves and to higher our frequencies and vibrations, to clear those things out of ourselves. So wherever we feel it, it's not that, oh my gosh, is there something wrong? Is this anxiety telling me that this is true? Is all the things? It's not any of that. And keep that in mind if that's something that happens to you. Hey, guys. Um, so just keep that in mind as things roll out here, roll out in a matter of exposure, of, as maybe things that are going to trigger your friends and your family and those around you. And they might be, freaking out. They may be so mad, upset, or they might be all for it. Either way, hold your frequency, hold your vibration, hold your light. Hold your light for yourself and for those around you. Just be an example, be a way shower, and continue on that path of just seeking out the light and holding that frequency and stabilizing it. And as light workers, we know that, like, we feel everything first. So the fear that is happening and coming out of the surface right now, we pretty much have known about, or at least a good bit of us have known about for years, right? So we were prepared for this, and that's why we came here. We were prepared for this moment. So it's not like we are completely in the dark now. We don't know everything. We don't know every detail, but we know a general idea of what is coming to the surface right now, and the fact that there is nothing behind it holding it up anymore. And that it is just a simple last grasp of breath from the dark forces, right? A very, very desperational grasp of, or breath of air. Um, because humanity is so evolved through this last year. Humanity is so ready for good, for new, for truth, for disclosure, for all the things that are coming. So, regardless of whether you're getting backlash, regardless of whether of you are choosing to be your own person in your own sovereignty, and you are not following the masses, and you are not choosing what other people want you to choose, and you are not following all of the guidelines and waiting for authority to tell you what you can do with your life. Regardless of any of that, stay true to yourself, stay true in your knowing, in your inner knowing, and just keep on keeping on, because it's truly the best is yet to come. So that's my message for today, guys. I hope that this resonated with you. I love these broadcasts, and I am excited to chat with you guys next week. Have a wonderful weekend.